Hey, how's everybody doing once again? This morning, this afternoon, evening, in whatever time zone you may be in as you may be listening to this video. So, there's a current news story about a driver, I believe an UberEats driver, who happened to visit a Burger King restaurant that he was supposed to have picked up from, only for him to have to pull and park forward in order for the order to be ready. Now, as he waited for an employee to bring him his order that he was there to pick up for, it just so happened it was another customer behind him, right behind him, parked to wait for their order as well. And the one of the employees, I don't know whether she may have been a manager or maybe a manager of the restaurant, happened to come outside, went food to bring to one of them. It was between himself and the person behind him, only for them to give the person that was parked directly behind him their food, but just look at him and completely ignore him. The employee, manager, whatever she may be, happened to look right at him, only to head right back into the restaurant. And because of that, he took offense to it. With that being said, I'm going to okay. It's first entitled by saying, do you know, or the title of it at least, or heading, the put it another way, it's saying, or starts off by saying, do you not see me at your window? Uber Eats driver says Burger King drive-through employee skipped him, never took his order. Below that, it's got in quotation, I waited 15 minutes. Okay, so it starts out by saying, an Uber Eats driver in Florida created a video claiming that he was passed over in a Burger King drive-through line, and this generated conversation about fast food service on the platform. The video comes from a creator identifying simply as Looney, in parentheses at lunatic, spelled Loonuhtik. That's a unique way to spell lunatic, but to each their own, though. By the way, my emphasis. Claiming in his profile to be a quote-unquote Florida boy just living life one day at a time. The video is just 5 seconds long, but includes quite a bit of context to set the scene. The video is from the creator's point of view, looking at a Burger King drive-through line when an employee visible next to the line outside the store, handing someone else behind him a bag of food. In a video which has more than 1.2 million views as of Sunday, the creator is saying, excuse me, quote unquote, excuse me, do you not see me at your window? As he says this, the employee appears to register this and briefly moves towards the creator's car right before the video ends. The video also has an on-screen caption that reads, gotta do better, BK, with a face palm emoji and a caption he wrote, apparently I can't have it my way. Some of the discussion on the platform defended the Burger King employee, thinking that the creator was complaining about an order being delivered before his in the waiting zone beyond the drive-through window. But the creator made clear his real complaint was being ignored completely. I worked at fast food, and usually we have an order that is ready and it's behind the car at the window. We will pull forward the car, commenter said. Okay, and I would have been all right with that, Looney responded. But she never said a word to me, not at the speaker or the one that just totally ignored me. One commenter criticized Looney's tone by writing, hey, excuse me, no one has taken my order yet. Could you help me out with Suffix be just fine? The creator noted, "This is probably the most intellectual comment I've read thus far, but I'm sorry I waited 15 minutes. The way she looked at me when she started to take the people's order behind me was as if she thought I was someone she didn't like and blatantly skipped me." He also claimed to finish off that response, "She got fired." Another reflected on her own career path, noting that's why I stopped working fast food, cause my attitude would have came out. "Well, I highly doubt you would have skipped me and started helping customers who got there 15 minutes after me," he responded. Digging a little more into the story, commenters were able to extract from Looney that it was an UberEats order that was supposed to be ready, but as the creator claimed, wasn't even being worked on when he arrived. So for people thinking he's being impatient and rude like myself at first, laugh out loud, said another commenter. He's got reasons as his time is valuable being a delivery driver. In a follow-up video, Looney wrote in a comment that he had to drive back around because she continued to ignore him. She, I'm assuming, is the employee at the restaurant who still continued to ignore him. By the way, that seems to be a personal issue to me. That's just judging from my vantage point. Okay, it ends the story or article. The Daily Dot has reached out to Looney via a comment and Burger King via an email to its media relations department. So I have been quite a bit of times to restaurants, and this is not quite similar to this current story that I just read, but in a sense it is, because I would usually go to restaurants, and there would be quite a bit of times when it may be either a manager or an employee. As soon as I would enter the drive-through window, they would just hand me my food without thanking me or anything. However, those same people, as soon as I would pull up to the drive-through menu board to place my order, they may start off as all nice and friendly, their demeanor. But it's like as soon as they would take one good glance at me, their whole attitude would change towards me. They would go to being so courteous and nice while taking my order to just being a complete rude person, a completely rude person, totally different person once I would get to the drive-thru window. So I could relate to this driver on behalf of his experience at this particular Burger King restaurant that he visited, because people are just strange and funny like that. And I say that to one of the main reasons I say that is because when most people nowadays, you don't have to be mean towards them at all or rude towards them at all, yet and still they will go out of their ways to be all mean and rude towards you. Sometimes it may be for personal reasons, other times it may be due to no reasons at all. Some people are just funny style like that. Anyway, I'm going to leave the link to this article, this news article and story right down below in the comments, description box, excuse me. Speaking of comments, feel free to give me your input on this particular matter and subject. Like the video. Don't forget to like the video. Share the channel and video so my channel could end up gaining much more mainstream exposure. Last but not least, subscribe to my channel. Most of all, until next time, have a blessed and safe day. Goodbye.